Ali came out of nowhere, and like literally the neighbourhood would stop and everybody would pile into people's houses, whoever had a telly, and watch the fight. And you know, like, sometimes the fights would be in the middle of the night, but you would just watch this guy fight.
Even his fighting style and his personality feels very modern and feels a bit timeless. It is not a style that would kind of confine him to a certain era. It feels like a style that can resonate today.
Muhammad Ali was actually the poster child for racial justice and sort of the growing sense of black power in this country during such a turbulent time, the 1960s.
So he was willing to speak when nobody else was willing to speak. He was willing to take on the boxing industry when no one else was willing to take on the industry.
He was doing and saying things that no one else dared to say outside of political characters. He had swag, you know, he had a style about him. Even when you saw him in suits and stuff, he just looked killer. For me, he was just like a really stylish icon as well for a young black guy trying to kind of distinguish what kind of styles that you're looking for.
The sense of bravery that he showed in the ring and in his life are the things that solidified him, obviously, in culture.
I just think he really represents what an icon should be in their craft, or in this case, their sport, but also what they should be to the world and how they should give back to the world.
His struggle with Parkinson's was very public, it's very personal. Both my father passed from Parkinson's, my mother has Parkinson's disease, and yet it didn't define him. I actually think the interesting and most iconic thing about Muhammad Ali is that you remember him in his prime, even though he lived well beyond that.
He said, "I'm the greatest," before he was the greatest, but he determined it. He forced that to happen, and living your values and picking your destiny and then just driving towards that in every step of your existence. I think anyone can learn from that, and any brand, and certainly any brand can.
There's a lot to love, and generations after generation will love them. There's just something about the human spirit that they have that's universal, that people, wherever you come from, can connect with in some way.
Kids look up to all different boxers even now, but I think that's why Muhammad Ali still resonates, and because he was the first. Typically, when you're the first at something, you get written about the most in the history books, and you get talked about the most.
I think that his humanity, and certainly as his life progressed, his humanity just showing through, and how he was able to touch so many people and actually affect change in so many ways.
His meaning is far greater than what he did in the boxing ring. There are icons, and then there are icons that are infinite and that will transcend time. But I think there are very, very few of those. He transcends time, I think, because he's an icon for good. He represents positive things.
There was this atmosphere of volatility and fear, but Ali was something that transcended that. Do you know what I mean? It made you forget about all that and the horrors in the world, and I think you could do with somebody like that right now, to be honest, with all the nuttiness that's going on.